Today I'm going to be talking about the 2005 release In Between Dreams by Jack Johnson. This album is pretty good. It has some of his best known songs on it. It sold pretty well, and I think it's warranted. I think its sales were warranted. It sold twice as many copies as its predecessor, 2003's On and On. Not every song on here is a classic. There's some stuff that's just complete filler. For example, Staple It Together is a song that is just some choppy electric guitar with the lyrics repeated over and over. Staple it together and call it bad weather. Staple it together and call it bad weather. It's very monotonous, and not every track is as bad as that one, but that's just an example of the kind of mediocrity that is on this album throughout. I mean, there are some good tracks on here, don't get me wrong, but there's also just total filler, stuff that you could just throw away. Never Know is a so-so song. No Other Way, Situations. There's just songs on here that I could easily do without. That said, there's some pop classics on here. Better Together, Banana Pancakes, Sitting, Waiting, Wishing, the lead single from the album, Breakdown, and Constellations are incredible songs, some of his best work. So that's kind of how this album goes. It's kind of hit or miss. It's either genius or total mediocrity, just stuff that you just throw it away. I mean, it's not. I find it not. I don't want to say not listenable. That sounds kind of harsh, but stuff I could definitely do without. So I think that this album. By the way, this album went up to number 2, which is pretty impressive. It was number 2 on the Billboard charts for the U.S. And there's just some classic songs on here, like I just named, and there's some mediocre tracks. It's very laid back. It's Jack Johnson, of course. It's laid back, but it's got an atmosphere. This is why the reason this is an improvement over On and On is it has atmosphere. I mean, Jack Johnson is always laid back, and he's always going to have that surfer sound, but this has more atmosphere. There's just the cover perfectly matches the atmosphere of the album. It's very mellow, and I don't know. At the same time, while it is laid back like he always is, there's a certain energy on this album that wasn't there on and On. I did not like On and On. I didn't find the songs to be that captivating. Here on this album, the lyrics and the songwriting are more captivating. The music's more captivating. The lyrics are more captivating. So yeah. It's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. Between Dreams. I'm not sure what else I can say about this album. I want to talk about Constellations for a second. That's the closer on this album. It is really beautiful. The main guitar riff is kind of prickly and twinkly, and it really does remind you of just stars shining. So that was a highlight that I wanted to talk about. And just an example of how brilliant Johnson could be on some of these songs. There's 7 good songs and 7 kind of bad songs. That's how this album goes. All in all, out of 10, I would give this, a 7 I'm going to say a 7.2 because there are so many throwaway tracks, but there's also some genius on here.